Hello, my friends, and today we have Dima. Dima, hi.
Hi, Sergey.
We located in our this space in Amsterdam.
Our headquarters, right?
Yeah, headquarters, our office, waiting for grand opening of our tea culture center in Amsterdam. And today, Dima wanted to ask me about
The wonderful cups we have here, right?
yes.
Because I have heard that you are making your very own ceramic wood-fired cups
Yes.
in Moscow, right?
Yeah,
Russia.
Yeah. So yeah, it's very special thing what we started during the coronavirus. Thank you, coronavirus. It was a very funny and great experience. Almost a year ago.
You started just a year ago with this?
Yes. Only a year ago, and but I was lucky to meet my friend Andrei, who is a ceramist, and she worked before we met around 5 years on pottery as a potter. But his dream was how I can make a wood firing of ceramic, because it's pretty difficult. You need kilns, you need space, some investments, and so on.
But what is then the difference between just normal fired ceramics and wood-fired ceramics?
Normal fired, there is a different types of firing. Most common types is two types. It's electric kilns, which is very accessible. You can just buy it, put it even at home. Just you need some ventilation.
It's like an oven, basically.
Yeah, like an oven, but there's some small kilns, big kilns. Anyway, it's a kind of production, so you need, of course, not put it like in the flat. Maybe like in garage or somehow. If you're living not in the flat but in the house, you can use it.
But can you make stuff that's beautiful like this with that, or what changes with
It can be. There is also other type of kilns, gas kilns on gas, pretty similar, electric and gas, because you always have a very stable result and nothing changes. You can make the same cups, fire them, and they'll be all the same.
Basically, that's as close as you can get to mass production, but then at your own home.
Yes, but what is the difference with firewood ceramics? There are also some other types like raku, like pit firing, and some other ceramic firing process, some experimental firings, but I will talk about basics. So yeah, if you talk about wood firing, it's one of the oldest, I think the oldest type of firing, because it was discovered like thousands of years ago in different cultures. And in China still exist a lot of ceramic centers, such as Dinderdrein, such as Isin, of course, with dragon kilns, very big old kilns, also in Fujian province, very famous places. In most famous kilns, maybe almost 1,000 years old, and they are still, some of them already like a museum, some of them still can be used.
And a kiln, you mean the thing that is used to produce this, right?
Yes,
to fire.
just kiln. It's just an oven, a very huge oven. Usually it was made from the bricks. I was maybe most of ceramic centers in China, and while I work with tea, I always seen that, but I never do it by myself. I just seen some factory or some potter, and I also have a thinking, maybe not even dream. I just think, oh, maybe we can do something like that later, because I really like to collect ceramic. And
what was your biggest inspiration? So like, what did you see that and you thought, yes, we need to recreate that or make it better? Like,
you know, my thing, there is some how to say, I don't know how to say it in English. There is a Russian word called nasmotenность. I don't know how to say it in English. It means like you have a lot of watching experience of something. And because I'm collecting teaware for a long time, I have thousands of teapots and cups and anything, and I have this watching experience pretty good, pretty big, I can say, yeah. And when we started our project, I have something in mind. Oh, let's do something weird, something absolutely impossible,
like this,
like this, yeah, like this, or like this, or like this. Like a lot of our stuff is very different. We don't have here some experimental cups which I do by myself, because I made it from different clays. I mix it and cut it, like make geometrical cups.
But you also like do the shaping yourself?
I shape them fully made by me. Yeah, I have something.
Like,
but
wow.
this one, all of these cups mostly made by Andrei. But here is some difference. For example, this is a porcelain cup. If you get back to our kiln stuff, so we just what's the process actually? You make the cup, the shape, yes, from porcelain or from the clay. There's two main types, but we have a lot of types of porcelain, of clay. For example, this porcelain is from Australia. This porcelain is Russian porcelain. So it's a different material.
And is it thicker, thinner, better, worse?
It's just different type. I can call it, the Australian type is more white, as you see. And this is a little bit
beige,
yellow, little bit. Not so white, not so like milky white. So it's a little bit different. And also, first you made the shape. After that, you fire it for pre-firing, make like 900 degrees firing in electric kiln, just to protect the shape before the glazing. And after that, they making glazing, and after that, you burn wood fire. Mostly it comes from 12 to 16 hours. So it takes like a long time.
Is this something
Yes,
you get from
yes,
the wood
yes,
fire?
yes. You can see, for example, then the cup or guy wine, doesn't matter, or teapot, anything what you put in the kiln. If you didn't use a glaze, you will see a lot of this
dark spots.
Yes, dark spots and
Beautiful.
all this picture from the fire. We can call it like.
Is that what makes wood firing unique?
Yeah. So any cup, any object what you put in kiln, then you open it, you didn't know what
Exactly.
what you can weigh, because because of the glazes and because of the temperatures. The main point of wood firing is you always have a unique object, and also you need to make it on a very high temperature. So you will burn up to 1310 degrees, something around this. Even sometimes we have a lot of broken objects, for example, the glazes like bubbling or something like that. So when you fire, you always have like up to 30% of your just destroyed. So this is also why price mostly of wood firing cups is more
expensive,
because
course,
it's
right?
also work.
It's collectible, it's unique.
Yeah. The main thing you just put main difference. You just put when you burn it in electric kiln. You just put the cup inside.
Forget,
and in the morning,
come back.
oh great, it's ready.
Yeah.
But here you need to constantly work. You need to look on the kiln. You need to know how to fire it, because if you put too much firewood, it can be also some problem. You will have a too much smoke, or too big fire, and so you need to regulate it exactly. There is some principles of how to regulate, and each master know how to do that. So mostly this belongs to Andrei, but also I do the firing, do both. Yeah.
And is wood firing originally, where does it come from? Like China or?
Mostly, originally from China, but we can't call it like only Chinese technique, because one of the most famous masters for wood firing, it's also from Japan, also from England, from France, from China, of course, from Taiwan, from USA. So now it's international, kind of international thing. But some countries prohibit make wood firing because of
like
the Netherlands. Yeah. Because of course it has kind of ecological lot of just smoke kind of. But
if you do it small scale.
Yeah, you have to know the small scale, and also, for example, we use not fresh firewood. We use some old buildings.
Wood, right?
Yeah, old buildings, deconstruction. So
you recycle.
Yeah, we use recycled wood for firing. Also, any broken cups we use later for making special tables.
Broken cup tables, right?
Yeah, broken cup tables from the lacquer.
Epoxy, right?
Yeah, epoxy. We use epoxy, so also we must
no waste.
Yeah, we try to do no waste.
Cool.
So anything what we manufacturing we use. But anyway, of course, it's not a 100% ecological process, but it's impossible to make it fully ecological. Even if you burn it with electric kilns, you also lose electricity. You also some glazes, gases comes out while you firing, so it also has some harm. But anyway, yeah, we don't make it like often, so we try make it more exclusive and don't make it very often. We regularly fire once in 2 months or once in 1 month, like that.
So if you started last year, you made 12 batches, right?
We have already 20, but why? Because first we built one small kiln, and it only can be like 50 cups in one kiln.
Mm-hmm.
But now we built 2 kilns, and they just work in one time, and in total it can be from 300 to 500 objects at once. So it's pretty much, and it's enough to fire it only once, or even one time in 2 months or something like that. But also there is some hand painting.
Yeah, I noticed like that, for example.
And there is also some differences with hand painting. For example, there is a underglazed hand painting, above the glaze hand painting, and also hand painting without glaze, just on the porcelain, like this one. For example, there is some special paints which we can use, put the porcelain just directly to the kiln, already with picturing, with artwork. But we need to put it like that while fire goes through. You see, it goes like that. If you put it like that, so all the
you will be gone.
Yeah, will be gone. Yeah, so we just need to put it right way, but not on the fire. But it resists. With paint can resist 1,300 degrees. But
I noticed that this also gives a very different feel, right? So well, for me, when I handle cups, the tactile feeling is very important, and this is like you hear it.
Yeah,
right?
It's a little bit more natural feeling. Yeah. Because also present, in all times, can we say this way, there's some techniques, some ceramic centers, we didn't use the glazes actually. We just fire for much longer time, because big kilns, we have small kilns, but big firewood kilns sometimes need to fire in like 24 hours or even 2 days or 3 days or something like that. And after that, continuously, all the time.
One cup.
Not 1 cup, just whole kiln.
No, I mean that 1 cup would be for 3 days.
Yes. So big kilns, because they need much more time to heat up to these temperatures, and it's pretty difficult to control. And also there is some issue that you really don't use any kind of glazes. You can just if you fire for so long period, you see this is only 14 hours, and we already have almost just like looks like glazed cup, and originally it was not glazed, and it's a white porcelain, and we just there was some picture in it, like hands. It looks like birds, but it was hands. But you can also think that it's rabbit or
just what you mentioned.
Yeah, beaver. Yeah, but this is a very good example how you can see the natural glaze of fire comes from the wood, because in the wood contains ash, and ash contains also glazes, glazing content, and then you burn all this, so ash come to the cup.
So it's basically natural glazing.
Yeah, it's natural glazing, so you didn't need the glazes actually.
By the way, let's talk about the shapes. Which one, like, do you have a preference of which shape, or?
Not really. Because most of our cups are completely handmade, so we only have a few exceptions, but I have a few shapes like this too. You see it the same, but they're still not the same, because sometimes it's moved because of a fire, and you see it's not completely the same. And this shape also, this is what made machinery, but all the rest things like glazing, like firing, like hand painting, all is handmade. But these shapes we just have only 2 or 3. All the rest shapes are like this. You can see our logo, for example. All of these shapes are completely handmade, so it's made by the hands, by the potter. And
But this
mostly,
looks very.
yeah, this one made by Andrei, and this is also his. He's our best potter, I think, because he also do very good niriyagi. You see this niriyagi, or in China they call it tiaoni. This is then you take different type of clay and you mix it, and you see this beautiful picture here. So it's two types of clay, and here the glaze is just transparent glaze without any colors, so you can see all the picture of the clay. And also after that we have above glazing hand painted picture. Yeah. And regularly when they have above glazing artworks on the teacups, artist work, they also have a third firing, but they make it on electric kiln, only on 720 degrees. But for example, like this, we fire this on 1300. So it's different. But this cups is much more most complicated to do. First you make pre-firing, like 900 degrees. After that you make glazing, 1300 degrees whole firing, wood firing, and after that painting, and after that 700 degrees firing. So it's each object, like few people work on it.
And from all of these cups, right?
Yeah.
Which one do you have a favorite? Or not really?
You know, I like them a lot, but because it's also kind of my selection, what I bring here to Amsterdam, I also try to take one of the best. I like this one especially, the shape, also because it's porcelain, and also because it's a very good painting. I like a thin painting, because it's you can look at it a very long time and find out some special details. And this is our master Yulia, the artist, and she's work, and glazing and firing by also Andrei, and Andrei make the shape actually. And what back to the shapes, because it's handmade shapes, so each time they're different. Even then he try to do the same shape, it always becomes not absolutely the same. You can try to do similar, but then made by hand, it's, if you look more clearly, you see the difference. But you can measure it and make
something that's
like 99% the same. But we didn't focus on that. Even the glazes, sometimes we mix some glazes, and sometimes some glazes will be made by ourselves. For example, we use ash. Also ash from our kilns we also use for glazing. No waste at all. So yeah, with this ash we take additionally low temperature clays, like for clays like which can be burned at 700 to 900 degrees. You can use also this clays for making a glaze. And after that add some oxides or some other things, and you will have our own glazes actually. And they mix it in each time, each firing we have something new. New glazes, new techniques, new mixed clays, and so we didn't know what to wait from it.
Cool.
So it's interesting.
And by the way, about glazes, are different glazes good for different kinds of tea, or not really?
You know, then you keep more attention on that, because it really depends on the people who drink tea, what you really want to take from it, you know. So when we talk about the tea culture and the usage of cups, making your own tea space, anything is important, you know, in the shape and how you brew, and what kind of tea you brew, and in which atmosphere, who is your guest. And I think it's also part of the game, of course. So you can use the cups and
create your own atmosphere, right?
Yes.
But really, for the taste, for example,
for the taste, you know, the main two things: there's open cup and closed cup.
This is, I think, the best example.
The best examples, yeah. So this is here you can smell better aroma, maybe, yeah, and also tea get colder for a longer time.
So basically, this is a summer cup because it has more space to cool off, and this is more of a winter cup, right?
Yeah. And also thickness of the cup is important. For example, if you have very how does it called?
Thick.
If
you have very thick cup walls, right?
If you have very thick walls, it also gets warmer for a longer time.
Keeps the warmth,
and
right?
it's very good for fermented teas, like for black teas and something like that.
So if you're a really pu'er drinker, right, then you need a thick, right, a thick cup, and this is maybe
mostly for greens, maybe. Mostly for greens, yellow, I think, for green tea.
Because this is an extreme summer cup, right? Extremely this.
Yeah. But you can drink any tea from any cup actually, but then you start collecting and you start making your own ceremonial side of this. When you point more attention on usage, you have some personal preferences. I never try to say something very strict
to force.
Force something because it's
very
art.
personal, right?
It does. I have a very good question. I just made an interview for Lava podcast about for people for Chinese expats, and it's a very good podcast in Russian. And there is with a question. My friend, he is a very good sinologist for almost maybe 30 years. He in China, but he was never into Chinese tea tradition. I know for so long time in China, but he don't good specialist in it. He asked me, what is why need all of these vessels, all of these
different
specific teapots and anything? It's just a game. It's just a marketing or something. I just say, okay. You didn't understand this side, but you here really in love with old poetry, Chinese traditional poetry and calligraphy. And I say, why are you interested in calligraphy? It doesn't need it. You can just type it, or just make it more simple. Or why you need art, music? So this is also a kind of art.
Form of expression.
Yeah. So this is a form of art, and what I really like with
I agree.
Yeah, he's a great teapot. What I really like with all this ceramic, that you have very many, big amount of abilities how to make it real, how to express yourself. So you can make glazing, you can make no glazing, you can hand painting, you can make different shapes, you can make teapots or gavans or cups or teapots, anything. And it's always kind of experiment. So what I really like that each object is unique, each one. We have thousands of it, but each of is some uniqueness.
You won't get it the same ever.
Yeah. It's impossible, especially in wood firing, because you just put it in some other place in the kiln. It comes more ash from it, so it becomes different. Even if, for example, these cups was in the same kiln, and they are pretty similar. Okay, of course, there is a painting, you see, all this hand painted, but main thing that here we have a lot of ash and a lot of natural glaze, but here we have just a little, because it was a little bit closer, more
in a different corner, right?
In a different corner of the kiln. So even similar cups becomes different objects.
Different. Yeah.
So but
what happened to this? Is this glaze or is
this is glaze? This is one of oxidic glaze.
It looks.
I can't recognize it exactly because I never. Some masters they follow the rules. They are trying to make some traditional way. Recipes. And for example, we also do that. For example, this is a celadon glaze, and we do it especially for hand painting. So as you see these rabbits, and it's very good for painting. For example, on these cups there's also cytodenic glazes and so on. It's difficult to
paint
it. But you can, but it's more difficult for artists. But some artists, have like here, we have this.
That's very nice.
Yeah, very beautiful. So you need to catch your vibe. You need to catch how to use the natural
circumstances.
Yeah. To also add something by your hand. So I think it's very good.
Yeah, but basically this was luck, right?
This is yeah.
Like,
yeah.
it's perfect. So it laid on perfectly, but
yeah, it comes from also from the ash, and also because here we didn't have any glaze. Also, we have a little bit of glaze inside, like this glaze, but outside there was no glaze. So you see, it's also unique. And like here, we also was very lucky because this glaze often it can be stick to the surface inside the kiln. But it was lucky, just the glaze goes down, but it just stopped on the edge.
On the rim. So
Yeah. So this cap can be broken, but it was lucky it was not broken. Some ceramists, of course, what I said, they follow all these rules. We don't make too much experiments. They know how to make exact color or exact. They know what to wait from. Yeah,
but basically you learned all this yourself. You didn't invite any master from China. You just watched. You just did.
Yes.
Wow, okay.
Only one experienced guy is Andrei, but Andrei is also never make some wood fire before. So we study some online manuals and also have some. I ask a lot of questions from my Chinese friends, but I never met them from that time because it was during the quarantine.
But okay.
And we just stuck in Moscow and all March,
were you just
April,
very bored,
May. Yeah, for free. No, 2 months. 2 months we just stayed home, and only one person who I met after my family, it was Andrei. He just come to my home. They make pottery, they fire it. Sometimes even twice a week because for that time we have a small kiln. But later during the summer they reconstruct the first one. After that they build the second, and now they just build 2 kilns. But it's it's interesting. Also I have some mistakes. For example, I made some incorrect mixtures of glazes and something. So I just study on the field, how to say.
Yeah. And are you also planning to get this to Europe somewhere to have a division?
It's difficult to make wood firing here, but I heard that in France it's not prohibited. We will look how it's going. For now we just import this pottery here, just in very limited amount because it's always limited. For example, 1 month we can have a few hundreds of it. And most of this pottery is already sold out because we have a very big chain in Russia. But here we try to bring also one of our best objects. And also, guys, for you to know, if you have some idea what you want, some special cup for you and some painting, we can do that. It's interesting. Yeah, it's interesting for us and for artists. We like to make some orders and make new ideas.
Yeah, just write us an email or send us a DM on Instagram at moychay.nl.
Yeah, I want this picture or something or some idea.
Make my cat, for example.
Yeah. Why not?
I mean, we have it here, right? Make my snail from SpongeBob.
This is actually pets is not completely handmade. They come from the farm.
A mold, right?
Mold.
Okay.
From molds, yeah.
But this still.
This not. This is completely handmade.
This looks very handmade.
Yeah. This also this fish.
Wow, but that fish is very nice.
I like. This is a titanium glaze on it.
Cool.
It comes from.
And by the way, if you like something on here, you can also check it out on our site if it's not yet sold out. We have it. Everything here is on sale.
Yeah.
Just a tip.
Just a tip. Yeah. I hope, we can talk about this like eternally, but I think maybe for today it's enough. If you have some questions about pottery and if you want something special, just let us know. It's my passion, It's very funny that some of my business partners and friends, they just Sergey, you just stuck in your garage and just making pottery all the day. Where's your some other things to do? But no, sorry. Today is my pottery day. I just I like the fire actually. Just and I like
looking at it.
Looking at it.
Wow.
So it's one of my. It becomes my passion only in this small period of time. I live in always talk with them each day, just post something. Oh, Andrei, I have this idea. We can do this glazing or this shape of cup or something.
Have you ever made something like this, literally, or is that too big for a?
We made just small kilns.
Uh-huh.
We even made few vases, but it becomes really expensive. And why it becomes expensive? Because you can't put too much of this. You can just put 5 vases or 10 vases in one kiln, so it becomes really expensive
for one fire.
Yeah. So you work like few days for only few vases, and also sometimes they broke and so on. So which is why we focus mostly on small objects.
Mm-hmm.
So.
And can you also make like this kind of cup, or is this like the minimum?
We can make anything. We have the smallest, we have small frog, but they make even smaller objects.
But for example, is this also wood fired or not?
No, this is a gas fire. This is come from China, and this is also they say that it's one half handmade. So we also have mold, and after that mold is polished by hand. So each object, this is pretty good quality object, and this has come from Isin, and they fire a little bit lower temperature, like 1100 something, and mostly on the gas kilns, not on the wood fire. But also as a scene there exists wood firing. We have some wood firing teapots and so on, but Chinese wood firing is really very expensive, so regularly it comes for like much more expensive than we sell even because now salaries and masters in China become even much more than in Russia. So this is why also we started to make in Russia that. And
by the way, does it matter which kind of wood you use? If we're talking about expensive, so sandalwood or something?
No, sandalwood. Just we use anything. Well, mostly it's like a pine tree or something, but it's not wood. As I told, it was old desks or something, which is not.
So it doesn't really matter.
We just, for example, old building destroyed, and any wood we take from it and use for fire. Some kind of recyclable wood. But there's some masters. Which focused on special size of wood and land and how inside the kiln, how to organize the space inside the kiln, how to build it. So there's not the feng shui, but you need to know the geometry, airflow, how it comes, how to load the kiln right way. For example, mostly I load the kiln. It's my work, my part of work. I work on loading. So. During the winter, for example, I just made some changes, and we have a few firings with some very special effects, and I don't know why. And only 2 fires we have some glazes, which is before was absolutely okay, but in one firing we have like whole kiln was bubbled, so we need to clean it up and after that fire again. So it was like not broken actually, but you need to work it out. So it always is kind of experiment. We never had some exact the same result.
Because you also always learn, right?
Yeah,
you just started 1 year ago. So.
Okay, so as I already told, I can talk about that like eternally because it's one of my biggest passions for now, especially. Thank you very much for watching. If you have some questions, welcome to our Amsterdam webshop or international webshop. We have delivery from Amsterdam, delivery from Russia.
Delivery everywhere. Don't worry. If you're in Australia, we got you. It's fine.
Thank you very much for watching. Keep in touch. Subscribe our channel. We will have a lot of new good content on it.
Yes. Bye bye.